Kia ora Star Wars fans, welcome to Middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Still got the COVID, so still staying behind the camera, but good news, sounds like the courier's just dropped off a couple of parcels, so I'll have more to show later. Just wanted to get back into the comparisons I started doing between Power of the Force 2 figures and the Vintage Collection figures. So just a bit of a recap. Power of the Force 2 is what got me back into collecting, and specifically this guy here, the Darth Vader, the long-handled lightsaber Darth Vader. And on the right there, of course, Dark Times Darth Vader, which is my biggest video out of all the videos I've ever done on YouTube. So that figure is very dear to me, and it's an amazing figure. But yeah, thank you very much for the suggestion, Wheels of Chaotic Doom. Wheels of Chaotic Doom, love that name. He's a regular on our New Zealand Action Figure Collectors live streams that we're doing every second Sunday, New Zealand time, hosted by Darth Rock. But yeah, he just went through and said I should start these again, and I agree, so I'm going to do a little video today. Okay, and here are some of the characters from the Tantive IV, the opening scene of Star Wars, the scene that really started all and blew people's minds, basically. So left to right we've got Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and we've got the Rebel Fleet Trooper. So just go through these one by one. So Darth Vader is obviously a buff as, and this is the first figure I actually bought and the one that started me on collecting. You can see he's muscly as and very disproportionate, but he's cool. And as I said before, mine came with the long lightsaber. It's since broken and lost, but that's not too much of an issue because in this scene he didn't have one anyway. You can see there, instead of they've got a molded plastic cape, and they've tried to give it a bit of flow, which I kind of appreciate. His boots look huge. Yeah, he looks like he's been hitting the gym hard, which is cool. And I saw that on the shelf. I had to get that. And then, as soon as I bought that, I had to get a Stormtrooper. And this is the original Stormtrooper that I bought. You can see there he's slightly yellowed. Again, he's quite buff. He's in a pre-posed kind of stepping forward. Even the E11's huge. One thing that's groundbreaking about this Stormtrooper, very first Stormtrooper, where you could move his head, because of course the vintage Kenner ones were, the torso and head were all moulded as one piece, so he can actually look side to side. So again, pretty cool for the time. I was really excited to see them. And then get to the Rebel Fleet Trooper. First time they ever made this in 3.75. Of course, this is one of those ones that had the vintage line carried on, they probably would have made, and actually what Hasbro should be doing for retro instead of new media. But anyway, this guy is buff as. You can see his rippling pecs. He's got a nice vest. Again, he's in kind of a pre-pose, so he basically, I find him very hard to stand up without a stand. He's got tight pants as well. He's been doing leg day too. His thighs are pretty buff. And I appreciate the attention to buffness, because look how enormous that pistol is. It's huge. Anyway, so there's our Power of the Force 2 guys, and with the magic of movies, okay, and just like that we've turned them into the Vintage Collection versions. So we'll go back the other way actually. So this is Palo Scrambus. So this is actually from the Rebel Fleet Trooper 4-pack, and thank you very much again Randy for that, for sending that over. So he is the guy you see quite prominently on screen. It's an older sculpt. This originates back to around 2010, the first iteration of the Vintage Collection. You can see he's just got swivel hips, so nothing too dynamic. He's got a bit of articulation in his arm, so he can hold his weapon with two hands, although that doesn't quite sit. But with the photoreal, he looks absolutely magnificent. He's normal scale, he's not buff, he looks like one of those old white dudes that was actually there on set, so that's very cool. And then we get to the ultimate Stormtrooper so far, VC231. He's got rocker ankles, he's got the holster. That helmet sculpt is just phenomenal. Dates back prior to VC140 was the first time they put it on a super articulated body, but before that it was on the 5 POA Stormtrooper from the Rogue One line. See if I can get him to stand. He's just awesome, absolutely awesome. And then we'll bring in my man Darth Vader, and you can see just from that pose I've got him in, he's very dynamic. He's got all new everything. He's got the new style hips, which are amazing. He's got rocker ankles. For you Darth Vader aficionados, you'll know that this one is not accurate to A New Hope, because in A New Hope, his inner robes go over the shoulder armor. And in obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi series and in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, they're tucked under, like you can see here. But we pop back to the Power of the Force 2-1. His are under the armor as well. And there's the Tantive IV. Some people say Tantive V. I wonder if those people pronounce 5E. You see, it looks great with those stormtroopers. Same with the Rebel Fleet Troopers. I got a couple of the older ones in there. And most of these are thanks again to Randy, or Classic Rando 74. Go check out his YouTube channel. So there you go, we basically now have definitive versions of all those characters. Conspicuous by her absence is Princess Leia Organa. So 2 reasons for that. The Power of the Force 2 Leia, known as Monkey Leia, is just an absolute shocker, and I've not looked after it. And it used to be, I gave it to one of my kids, and it's not in good condition anyway. And also there's no equivalent in the Vintage Collection, which is why she polled at #1 in the March Madness, because everybody knows that she hasn't been done since 2004 and she desperately needs updating. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures, ka kite, and I'll see you on another video.